Go ahead and call the monthly Board of Education meeting to order. Can you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda? Ms. Quinn makes a motion. Do I have a second? Ms. Rouse, second. All in favor, show of hands. 7-0, motion carries. Citizen statement, Mrs. Bells.
Thank you, Mr. President. The district has not received any requests for citizens' participation per board policy BDDH.
Military update.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have lots of fun stuff happening on Fort Leonard Wood. This Saturday, February 24th, is a Salute to Service wrestling event. Come enjoy heart-racing, adrenaline-pumping action at Davidson Fitness Center. Doors open at 5 p.m. Event starts at 6. General admission is $15, and the Golden Circle tickets are $25. Tickets can be purchased through the Leisure Travel or online at the link on the Fort Leonard Wood MWR website. Also on Saturday is the Kids Trout Fishing Derby from 9 to 1 at Stone Mill Springs. Registration is on site beginning at 9 a.m. This is a free event. Adults must accompany children 15 and younger and bring your own gear. Mardi Gras bowling specials are happening all month long at the Doherty Bowling Center. Roll a strike on the color head pin and enter for a chance to win a family bowling package. Month of the Military Child is celebrated every April. The 2024 Momsy shirts are available for purchase. The winning design was created by a local 4-year-old attending one of our child development programs. A link for purchase is available on the Fort Leonard Wood MWR website. The deadline for purchase to arrive in time is March 3rd for our April events. And lots of events are being planned for April, including a family-friendly kickoff on April 1st at Doherty Bowling Center, middle school teen open house on April 5th, night at the museum lock-in on April 12th, Purple Up competition April 15th, Spirit Week from April 15th through the 19th, PT in the Woods on April 17th, and our Momsy Palooza on April 20th. We hope you see you at one of these amazing events. Call the Parent Outreach Services office for more information or check for updates on the Morale, Welfare, and Recreation website or flyers as they're pushed out. Thank you, sir.
What round were you wrestling in next week? But go out and watch wrestling. Rick's got one match he was telling me about. So, district announcements, Ms. Bells.
Thank you, Mr. President. If Rick's wrestling, I'll make sure that I'm there. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome the WCC and Waynesville Middle School staff. They will be highlighted during our regular Spotlight on Education this evening. I'd like to continue to thank the community for the support of the Snack in the Pack program. We are approaching our spring break, and so we will be sending extra snacks home with students to meet their needs that week. We are off, so we are asking for continued donations to assist that program. The Month of the Military Child kickoff event will be held on Tuesday, April 2nd in the Capitol Rotunda in Jefferson City at 10 o'clock a.m. And so I'd like to invite the community to come out and participate in that. And then also, please save the date for our Community Salute to Service event, Wednesday, May 8th in the Waynesville High School Gymnasium. We will recognize South Central Missouri High School seniors who will be signing up to serve in the military, and that is always one of my most favorite events of the year. Thank you.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve consent agenda items A through G. Mr. Harden makes a motion. Mr. Anderson second. All in favor, show of hands. Motion passes. Student recognition, JROTC Raiders. Dr. Atkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tonight we have members of our JROTC Raider team with us. They participated in the JROTC mixed, let me restart this. Waynesville JROTC mixed Raiders team took 6th place in the nation out of a field of more than 250 teams at the U.S. Army Cadet Command Raider Nationals that were held November 2nd through 5th at Fort Knox, Kentucky. We had planned on recognizing them last month, but the weather did not cooperate, so we are happy to have them here with us tonight so we can recognize them for their accomplishment. And Colonel Williams is going to come help with reading their names as the students will come up and get their certificates. After you get your certificate, we will go over here for a photo.
Nathaniel Copeland. Haley Garcia. Avery Higdon. Joseph Mendiola. Damon Plotner. Luke Pullman. Kiara Regal. Noah Shear. Kayla Stort. And Peyton Stort.
Marianne, are you inviting the parents up to come take a picture? Yeah, parents, come forward if you'd like to take a picture of the group, please.
And while the parents are taking pictures, I would encourage you all to follow their social medias. These kids are unbelievable. Take the opportunity, watch their videos, and watch what they do. They're truly incredible. I've got to watch them firsthand in person, but if you can't make it to Kentucky or New York, wherever they compete at, just hit them on Facebook. They're truly incredible. Okay, we'll move to All-State Children's Choir. Dr. Atkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tonight we are recognizing Trace Borner. Trace is a fourth grade student at Freedom Elementary. Trace has been selected for the Missouri All-State Children's Choir, which is a huge honor. Chase will be part of a very select ensemble for the state of Missouri. Trace is under the direction of Keisha Jarrett, a music teacher at Freedom. So Trace, would you like to come up here?
Now we'll move to WCC Video Production students. Dr. Atkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. Students in the WCC video production class created a video to showcase programming at the Waynesville Career Center. This video was recently shown at the statewide CTA Administrators Conference and has been selected to be used as a model video for CTE promotion for the state's 57 career centers. The video production class is taught by Mr. Tim Wallace. We're very proud of our video production students on being chosen and for doing such a great job on their video. And it is a fantastic video for those of you who have not had a chance to see that. Mr. Callis, the director of Waynesville Career Center, is going to help me by calling out names of our students, and then students, you'll come up here, get your certificate, and then over there for a photo.
I would ask, so we'll have a few students. These are all of our schools, Waynesville, and then all of our 8 area schools. So there'll be some students that are not here, but we did want to recognize them as well. So if you would, with that, you'll hold your applause to the end, and we'll give them one big round of applause at the end. So Brandon Blakey, Colin Braslin, Aaron Charbonnier, Waylon Cox. Got it. Bo Crossland. Zeta Dent. Ava Fagan. M. Gospich. Jayla Marie Hong. Emmanuel Jones. Dominic Leon. Oscar Lopez. MJ Luna. Abby Moore. Callum Muir. Riley O'Donnell. Samantha Partridge. Damon Plotner. Kaylee Runner. Hayden Waddell. Z. Walters. And now, after 6 months of prep on that video, now you can give them a round of applause. Come on up and get pictures.
And while you're on Facebook following the JROTC, I would encourage you to go to TigerTV and follow this excellent group of students and watch what they're doing. Now we'll move to the Spotlight on Education, Waynesville Career Center.
Thank you, Mr. President. So we got iced out last month, so we're going to make up. I appreciate the most amazing staff for being here tonight. I appreciate them for coming out. So I'm going to start with our certified staff member. This WCC Certified Spotlight winner is a person who epitomizes hard work, hard work ethic. She takes initiative with any project she has. She is an absolute role model for all of her students. She has, as you just saw, she's done a tremendous job of leading our raters, as well as the job that she does in the classroom. So for your Spotlight, Certified Spotlight winner is Miss Megan Faddle. Good luck with this picture. Our classified spotlight winner is someone who is in his second year working with our culinary department. If you were to walk into this class, and this is, and Chef Dye would tell you the same thing, and you didn't know who it was, you wouldn't know who was teaching or who was. They're both worked as a team. They've done a great job. That's evident in the success that culinary has done with the World Food Championships and other events that they've held. And if it wasn't for our classified award winner, a lot of that would not be possible. And that our classified spotlight winner is Mr. Damon Ayers. I'm going to let Travis Pruitt is going to introduce our group.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the Waynesville Career Center staff, and we'd like to thank our PLC Spotlight Group for the amazing work that they do. It is our mixed group number 3 that we are spotlighting, and I'm sure they have a more colorful name, something more fun that they've named themselves, but that's what we call them. And the members are Tim Wallace, Shawneen Hefton, Tom Mezzacappa, Amy Nichols, and Stephen Tatro. This group, as voted on by their peers, exemplifies how the PLC process works in career technical education. Congratulations, Group 3. Your recognition is very well deserved. Thank you.
Mr. Cowles, I think I've learned you're the best secret keeper in town. We'll move the spotlight on education, Waynesville Middle School.
Thank you, Mr. President. So tonight I have the privilege to honor Miss Atchison and Miss Edna Roberts for our spotlight on education at the middle school. That's right. So Ms. Atchison is currently in her 3rd year in the Waynesville R6 School District, where she serves as a special education science teacher at WMS. Throughout her tenure at WMS, Ms. Atchison has consistently demonstrated a commitment to inspiring her students by setting high expectations and fostering a culture of hard work. Her passion for science and leadership is evident as she continually explores innovative ways to engage her students in the learning process. In addition to her dedication to students, Ms. Atchison excels in collaboration with fellow teachers and staff, contributing to the criterion of optimal learning environment at WMS. She not only works effectively with her students, but also serves as a valuable resource and mentor to her colleagues. Ms. Atchison's outstanding contributions have made her an invaluable asset to our team, and we are immensely grateful for the positive impact she has had on both staff and students. Here are a few comments from her colleagues. Ms. Atchison has many different hats in the world of WMS. Not only does she work with the science department, but she's also special and outgoing within the SPED department. She is always there to offer help and assistance when it's needed, whether that be for science, SPED, or just a smile and high five on a Friday morning. She's always greeting the students when they come in the morning, talking or addressing each one as they walk in the door, and she's also the main student council sponsor. She works hard to see the students' success in our buildings, and she is their mentor, but also their encouragement to be leaders, not just followers. Ms. Atchison will also volunteer to help when needed, and she is willing to support our students and staff. Her energy is contagious, and as Kayla's fellow team member, I have witnessed firsthand the incredible impact she has had on both students and colleagues. Her patience knows no bounds. And at the middle school, we need a lot of that. Even in the face of challenges, one of Kayla's most remarkable qualities is her innate sense of how to tailor instruction and support to meet the students where they are, ensuring that every child has the opportunity to thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. And now the greatest person I've ever known, Miss Edna Roberts. This is a real smile, by the way. I am honored to introduce Miss Edna Roberts. This marks her 44th year in the Waynesville School District. Yeah. And her dedication remains as strong as ever. She is consistently giving 110% in everything she does, particularly in her role managing the main office and overseeing the entire school. Colleagues often describe her as the glue that holds everything together. Ms. Roberts exhibits a genuine passion for our students and the Waynesville School District. She is the face and foundation of our school and serves as an inspiration to all students and staff, encouraging them to give their best and embody the spirit of a true Waynesville Tiger. On this occasion, we also extend our heartfelt congratulations to her for her well-deserved retirement. Here are a few comments from our colleagues. Edna's smile has been a staple in the office every day. She is patient with students, parents, and teachers, and of course, those new teachers that come in. She took me under her wing, so thank you. She's willing to help anyone who asks, and I think she has a magical wand because she makes things happen that are not possible. Miss Roberts, administrative assistant at WMS, is the epitome of a leader, friend, and hard worker, professional, and superhero. Her natural instinct to keep our school functioning smoothly on a daily basis is phenomenal. She always has a kind word for anyone who's hurting and inspires us with her beautiful smile and words of wisdom. She is passionately known as Miss Edna, Miss Roberts, or Miss Edna Roberts, and answers when called, ready to help any way she can.
All right, thank you, Mr. President, Board of Education. Now I'd like to go ahead and introduce our Waynesville Middle School Collaborative Team Spotlight Award to our 8th grade science team, if you all would come on up. Our team consists of Mr. Dunkel, Miss Jackson, Miss Lake, Miss Miller, and Miss Atchison. To highlight just a little bit of their work this year, on a pretest for standard 6.8 ETS 1B1, which is evaluating competing design solutions using a systematic process to determine how well they meet the criteria and constraints of a problem, students started out at 15%. Throughout their time of that unit, we're able to move them to 77% advanced and proficient by the end, which is also a standard that will continue to move throughout the school year. The strategy they used to teach this standard was station rotations. For this unit standard, the team worked together with the end in mind, collaborating on student data, and striving to make hands-on real-world connections with their students, which translated into higher student achievement. The 8th grade science team is an excellent example for which others can emulate and establish a growth mindset with their students. Just one example of what their colleagues said, the Science 8 team is very collaborative and always tries new strategies, but also uses the one that have worked from year after year. They are hard workers and always put their students' needs first. So thank you, Science 8 team.
Congratulations, and also to the students from the kindness crew at the middle school. Thank you for these buttons. They made the whole board tonight. We appreciate that. Now we'll move to Best Schools Recognition, Ms. Bells.
Thank you, Mr. President. All schools have been ranked among the best elementary, middle school, and high schools in Missouri by U.S. and News World Report, and so it's my honor to present the plaques that they will hang in their buildings tonight. If there were a Best of the Best Career Center and Early Childhood Program, I know we would be getting those too, but I also want to recognize the Career Center and our early childhood programs because they are essential to the success of our school district as well. So they certainly share in this recognition and celebration tonight. So with that, I will first call up, let's see who I pull out first. 6th grade center. Waynesville Middle. Waynesville High School. East Elementary. Freedom Elementary. Partridge Elementary. Thayer Elementary. And Wood Elementary. Please join me in one more round of applause while we celebrate this excellent recognition this evening.
And congratulations, everybody. We'll move to January Transportation Employee of the Month, Mr. Tronstad.
All right, good evening. I'm here tonight to recognize actually our January Employee of the Month and February. January, we were unable to recognize her due to the weather and the ice and stuff. And so our January Employee of the Month is Karen Herron. She's been with us for over 4 years. She started out as a bus aide and is now a special needs bus driver. When I think about Karen, what comes to mind is quiet, but strong. She doesn't say a whole lot, but she's there when you need her. She gets the job done. I don't get parent phone calls whenever she's driving a route. And on a side note, she's an amazing artist. So she does a lot of painting, which really has nothing to do with transportation, but just another thing that makes her amazing. So it's very hard sometimes to choose who's going to be the Employee of the Month, but the people I do choose are the total package. These are people that you know when you put your kids on their bus that you will not have any issues. Life happens, things will happen, but they're here for the right reason. And so my January Employee of the Month is Karen Herron. Thank you very much for choosing transportation to make a difference in children's lives.
And now we'll go to February Transportation Employee of the Month.
All right, and I like this one too, but our February Employee of the Month is Lewis McCoy. He was a former bus driver at another school district and came to us. You will not hear anybody say they love their job and genuinely mean it more than Mr. McCoy. Every time you see him in the hallway, it's not good morning, hello, I love my job. And so that's what I think about when I see Mr. McCoy. Always positive. There's nothing you can ask him that he will complain or, question it. He does it, and he does it for the right reason. He's involved with WIN, routes, trips, you name it, he's there. So sometimes less is more, so I just want to say, Mr. McCoy, thank you for choosing transportation to make a difference in children's lives.
Thank you both very much. Community recognition, Dr. Goforth.
Thank you, Mr. President. This month, the district would like to recognize Mr. Sean Neal. He joined the Waynesville Middle School Parents on Patrol team in December. Since then, his dedication has truly shown through as he's been present almost every day, adding an extra layer of security to our school community. Mr. Neal has gone above and beyond, keeping a watchful eye on our hallways, bathrooms, and cafeteria. His commitment to the safety and well-being of our students and staff hasn't gone unnoticed, and we're incredibly fortunate to have such a dedicated individual on our team. Thank you, Mr. Neal.
Okay, we'll go to crisis management, Dr. Goforth.
Thank you, Mr. President. This evening, Mrs. Courtney Long and myself will give you an update on our Waynesville School District Safety Program. Our CSIP goal, safety, to ensure safe learning environment that is focused on student learning and collaboration. This year, we were awarded the safety grant, and with this grant, we have been able to do upgrades to cameras district-wide, safety film installation district-wide. We were able to purchase some AED upgrades, emergency and rescue medicine cabinets, stop the bleed kits, and EpiPens. We've updated radio communication throughout the district, and we've also been able to implement our Navigate 360 platform. We've also continued with our SRO training. We've provided lots of opportunities. They have their yearly weapons training and qualifications, DARE certification, mental wellness. New this year, we were able to take our SROs through Narcan training, where they received Narcan and are able to carry that.
Thank you. This is just a reminder, we updated in 2021 our district counseling emotional crisis team response plan to really focus on those emotional needs that might occur at any time after a crisis would occur. And so it's to help with all of our faculty at that time. It is headed in our district by the district crisis team coordinator, Neftali Perez, who's one of our counselors at the middle school. And the pieces of the plan include a piece on preparing for the crisis. Every other year, this is presented in buildings at their faculty meetings so that our faculty are aware that it exists. It's really nice to know as a staff member at any level that this exists, and so that if something happens, you know a little bit of what to expect whenever you go to school afterwards or when you return, and how the building and the district's going to respond. It outlines the responsibilities clearly at the district and the building level, and helps. Every year in the first DLT, we go through it with building administrators to make sure that their plan's updated and that they're aware of what those pieces look like. It has a checklist of the steps and responsibilities to utilize during the crisis response plan. This is really helpful because, as you know, all of us, whenever we're in there trying to give help after a crisis, we might want to make sure we don't miss any steps. And so it's got some really nice checklists in there of things that we need to take care of, as well as just templates for things like that we can really quickly pull together and utilize, like counselor documentation, best practices for post-crisis response, for after action, and then also just a wealth of supporting documents. It has, for example, prepared announcements, PR, letters, things that we would go and what we would say speaking to kids at different age levels in response to a crisis, what we would share with our parents, what we would share with our staff, both written and, like I said, that could be verbally delivered as announcements. And just as we know, anytime a crisis would happen, having that peace of mind that it's already written there for you, you have a basis of a starting point of what you want to work with, is really a nice relief for us. It also has a bunch of handouts. It has everything from activities that we might do in classrooms. And again, it's broken down to all ages, preschool through adults. So that's our emotional crisis plan for the district. Any questions?
Comments or questions? Thank you. The 24-25 salary recommendation, Mrs. Bells.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to share some information about the board regarding how we came upon this recommendation this evening. We have met 3 times with our certified and classified employees. In addition, we've held a meeting with our hourly employees through transportation. One of our goals this year that we talked about back at board retreat was to bring a salary recommendation to you earlier in the year than we have been doing previously. This is our attempt to try to minimize confusion regarding having to send out addendums once contracts are given to employees. And so we are excited to bring this to you this evening in a more expedited fashion. And again, I just want to let the public know that the board has been educated about this process throughout the meetings that we have held. I've included those in our board updates, and so some of this information is not information that they would be hearing for the first time. One of our district CSIP goals is to be within the top 2 in all areas when we look at competitive salaries. We do market value comparisons each year, and we look at surrounding school districts such as Rolla, Lebanon, to compare our salaries to what they're providing their employees. The district is back in the number 1 and number 2 position in all areas for certified employees. In addition, we looked at opening up SOS activities as an area to address for staff. In addition, they had some questions and wanted us to dig into special education staffing, which Dr. Washington and Dr. Goforth and I have begun to do. For classified employees, the district was in the number 1 or number 2 in all areas except for custodial positions and in the RN position, and you'll see us address those later on in the presentation. The district was not in the number 1 or number 2 position for hourly transportation employees, and so we will also address this later on in the presentation. And just a reminder to the board that Mr. Harrison projected a $2.1 million to spend for salary and benefits this school year. So this slide represents a breakdown of what we are bringing forward as a recommendation. We are asking for a 0.5 increase or 0.5% increase and step for everyone. For certified employees, that would be an average increase of 2.2%, and for for certified, and for classified, it would be an average of 2.23%. Just a reminder to the board that as employees move down the salary schedule, that's additional money. That 0.5% would go just to that base percentage. Benefits, we're projecting about $396,350 increase. We worked with employees to normalize the classified salary schedule, and as you recall, last year we worked really hard with the certified to normalize their salary schedule, and so we carried that over to classified employees this year, and there's a projected amount there for you. A 1% increase in step for transportation. This would equate to about $70,000 plus an additional business day and extend the rollover day cap to 30 days for health leave. This is something that they requested. Employees at transportation are only allowed to roll over so many days in the area of health leave, and so they were asking, there were several that had met that cap, and they were asking additional days be added on to that, and so that's also included in that $70,000 there. So that would be about a 3% average increase with a step for all transportation employees. For our RN, this will move us to rank 1. This would equate to about a 15% average increase, but I do want to let the board know that's about $2.50 increase to their hourly rate. So why that 15% is like, whoa, really that's about $2.50, but that would also move us back into that top ranked position for RNs. For custodial and maintenance, the projected amount to do the below items is listed there. We would move our rank to number 1, but when you start to work with the custodial pay, you also have to consider the maintenance pay as well, and so we did both of those. In addition, we made a separate pay scale for our head custodians, and again, that 15% average increase is really, dollars per hour. We worked hard to normalize the coaching schedule. That's something that we weren't able to get to last year, and so we said we would carry that over this year with our salary negotiations, and we kept our word in that area. Dr. Goforth and Mr. Ace worked with coaches to do market value comparisons and address the needs in that schedule. We also incorporated some additional funding to address some special education staffing positions. We aren't sure exactly where those may be needed for next year because we aren't sure what enrollment will look like for next year. But we do have that funding in there should we need to add some additional staff due to caseloads. And then another request from our staff, we have several staff members that are frozen at the bottom of our salary schedule at 30 years, and so we will be adding 2 years at the bottom of the schedule. That's the projected cost there. There's 2 reasons that this is good. 1, we were working with employees to meet their needs, and 2, we want to retain our staff and keep them with us as long as we can, especially our experienced staff members. And so the projected total cost for that is a little bit over what Mr. Harrison had projected, but he felt that that was in a comfortable margin, and so we bring that forward to you this evening. I do want to hit on 2 other areas that we were brought to us by staff that they wanted us to really consider and look at. One of those is SOS and Career Ladder. And just a reminder that we have had SOS in the district for several years. However, last year, the state brought back grant funding for Career Ladder. Now, we are very grateful for that grant funding to provide this additional money to our faculty. However, we do want to have a separation between SOS and Career Ladder. Should Career Ladder go away, we still want to be able to offer the SOS hours to our students and pay for that. So the state giveth, but the state also taketh away, and so we want to be able to be flexible either direction. So with the additional Career Ladder hours added for staff, they really wanted us to open up when they could do SOS and Career Ladder. In addition, they wanted the application period to be moved back, and they wanted us to really look at some of the activities that could be counted towards this time. And so Dr. Atkins worked with staff. We did an excellent job having dialogue about that, and so we are making these adjustments moving forward, or recommending making these adjustments moving forward. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any comments or questions?
I have one. The student contact hours, is that just strictly tutoring, or what other activities might qualify?
That is mostly strictly student tutoring contact hours. Supervision would not count.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other comments or questions? Thank you, Mrs. Bells. 24-25 certified classified handbooks, Dr. Goforth.
Thank you, Mr. President. The following attached certified and classified employee handbooks are presented for your review as a first reading. The administration will request approval at the regular March Board of Education meeting.
Any comments or questions? All right, parent survey results, CSEP action steps, Mrs. Bells.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm excited to share our parent survey results with you this school year. I'm not going to read each survey result to you. I don't want to insult anybody's intelligence. They are all online and you can see them, but there are things I want to highlight this evening. Just a little bit of demographic information. This slide represents the total number of responses. We are down a little bit in responses given from the previous year. However, 719 is still a strong showing for participants in the survey. This slide represents male-female breakdown and then prefer not to answer. This slide represents which best describes you. Which buildings participated in the survey. And then a breakdown of the grade span. On this first slide here, I just want to tell everybody and for the public what the colors represent. The blue is district percentage. The orange is grades pre-K through 6. The gray is grades 6 through 8. And the yellow are grades 9 through 12. On this slide here, I would like to just highlight that 91% of the district responded that their child receives the educational support they need. And 96.1% said my child's school building is in good condition. On this next slide, I'd just like to highlight 95.7% of our parents say the school provides the technology, devices, connectivity support necessary to promote student learning. And as you all recall, that was a big goal to go one-to-one in 2017 when we passed the tax levy, and so we've done a good job honoring that as a district. Also, 84.4%, the school recognizes the accomplishments of my child, and we have over 6,000 students that attend our district, and while we want to get higher than 84%, we are proud that people are feeling like we are working to recognize their child, because that's very important to us. On this next slide, the school values and respects differences among students and their families. We have 81.9%, and the school environment promotes learning, 88.2%. Oops, I'm sorry. There we go. So one big celebration, well, one thing I do want to note for the board and for the community, we did have slight growth in nearly every area from last year's survey results by 1 or 2%. However, we did have a bigger jump on this survey question. This school has helped my child establish educational and career goals. And this is something that we really have been working hard on as a district and as a CSEP team. We've provided a root ed counselor at the high school level to help meet with seniors on their college and career goals. And so I do think that this is something to be noted and applauded for the work that the buildings are doing in this area. One of the, 3 of the areas that we said were going to be focus areas during the 23-24 school year was bully education and prevention, parent input, communication on CSEP progress, and student voice. And so I do want to cover these areas for the community and also for the Board of Education. Again, you can see that we did have a slight increase in this area. However, it's not as much progress as we would have liked to have made, so we're going to continue to work on this goal. I received communication about the school system's progress towards meeting its goals. Again, we've made some progress in this area and will continue to work. We did have a 4% growth. I'm asked for input about school decisions. We had 2% growth in this area. I received communication about the school system progress towards meeting its goals. 4% growth. And lastly, I just want to let everybody know that these will be published on our district website. So if you want to dig into them further or compare last year's to this year's, you are more than welcome to do that, and we'd be happy to answer any questions that anybody may have. Before I move into the implementation of CSIP and action steps, are there any questions regarding the parent survey results? All right. So we had our mid-year meeting in January for our CSIP team. We had nearly 50 people in attendance. This included community stakeholders, parents, students, teachers, and district administration. We covered progress made through our CSIP action steps, and we really appreciated the dialogue and feedback we received from the team. Again, I'm not going to read every area to you because there is a lot in this document, but I do encourage the public to go to our website and view our full CSIP. We also have a one-page CSIP document, and also the meeting notes will be published from this mid-year January retreat here shortly. We do have last year's already on there. So just our student learning action steps for college and career readiness, educate students and increase enrollment for career-embedded internships and advanced coursework opportunity. We've continued to make good growth in this area, and we did hold a college and career fair in October. For a diverse learning environment, we want to maintain district diversity teams to create and inform district diversity activities. Dr. Washington and the diversity team has had an excellent job providing our Festival of Nation activities, TigerTV talks, and additional PD in this area throughout the district. Equitable classroom training will be implemented in each school, and this is something that we talk about each month during our district leadership team meetings. There are checklists that we go through, and we can continue to work with Dr. Washington in this area. Instructional technology, model and provide opportunities for students to use technologies to locate, evaluate, and collect information for solving relevant problems. Instructional techs in our buildings conduct collaborative lessons with our classroom teachers, and we embed these skills each month. Instructional effectiveness, maximize special education student access to Tier 1 instruction as well. Many of you have heard about the excellent co-teaching model that we've implemented in several school buildings throughout our district. We are seeing excellent results regarding student achievement, and we will continue to grow and work on this model. Guaranteed and viable curriculum, continue the curriculum cycle and make revisions as necessary. Mr. Henson works closely with Dr. Adkins to make sure that our curriculum is aligned with the Missouri Learning Standards and that we are up to speed in our curriculum materials that we provide throughout the district. Collaborative learning environment. All administrative staff will be engaged in the professional collaboration process at the district and building level. And again, as I mentioned, we engage in PLC conversations with our teachers each week at the district and building level. Communication and marketing goals. I'm going to skip through these because this is the slide that I think is powerful. Mrs. Ward has worked extremely hard to work with a company that did a communications audit. And so we really worked to revise some of our CSIP goals based off of recommendations from that audit. She has done an excellent job implementing those steps, but one thing that is on the horizon for our district and much needed is the implementation of a new website. And so we are currently working on getting all of that information moved over to a new format. It's much more user-friendly. The mobile capabilities and ability to share through social media platforms far exceeds what our current one is able to do. And so we look forward to increased communication with our stakeholders. Physical management. The thing I want to highlight here is that we continue to monitor salary rankings across comparable districts, which I mentioned earlier in my salary recommendations. And so Mr. Harrison and his team have done an outstanding job making sure that we are competitive. Annually monitor the tax levy of comparable groups with a goal of remaining above 95% of comparable districts. And as I hope the public is becoming aware, we are asking for a 10-cent tax levy increase on the April ballot because we are in jeopardy of losing our B2 heavily aid impact funding of $8.5 million because of this progress goal right here. And so we have really engaged in informational campaign to educate our public on the matter. I would just urge everybody to please check out our website, Tiger Tax Facts, to get more information. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to Mr. Harrison or myself. Technology, monitor community internet access to ensure all district families have adequate access to support virtual learning. This is something that we do well. However, I always fear that we may be missing somebody, and so I just want to take this opportunity to ask any parent or community member that may be watching this evening, if you are having some connectivity issues and it's impacting your students' education, please reach out to us because we do have resources and we can assist you in that area. And I just don't know that everybody knows that, so I really wanted to make sure that I highlighted that here tonight. Facilities, develop an extensive 10-year long-range plan to identify most effective use of all district facilities for future needs. I just wanted to highlight this area in particularly because sometimes I don't know that we always do a good job communicating that there is a plan behind our construction projects and that we do work really hard to make sure that we maintain our facilities to the highest level. We have a plan for some upcoming HVAC repairs that are needed throughout the district, as well as some field repairs and things of that nature. We are happy to share that information with our patrons and stakeholders, so I encourage you to reach out if you have questions or concerns. But I did want to highlight that action step because, again, I don't know that it is always communicated as effectively as we would like. In human resources, Dr. Goforth has done an excellent job with implementing a recruitment plan that targets effective recruitment strategies and tools to hire highly qualified and diverse workforce. She continues to reach out and learn about innovative ways we can do this. She held a very successful career fair at the Parker Educational Center last year, and we did a referral process with staff where if they referred somebody to our district and they actually ended up getting hired, they would go into a drawing and get an iPad, and we recognized them this year at Convocation. And so that was a really fun way to highlight and for our staff to share what a great place Waynesville is to work. And I look forward, I know that people are competitive throughout the district, so I look forward to that expanding this school year as well. I'm off. There we go. In this area of human resources, I would like to just highlight Mrs. Long. I know she's done a great deal of sharing regarding some of the emotional supports that we have in place for our students across the district, but she also works extensively to research and provide support for our teachers and staff as well. And so again, I don't know that we always do a good job highlighting that area, but I wanted to make sure that I did that this evening. And then in the leadership area, this was an area that was required to be added back in with the MSEP 6 standard. We had a leadership goal and action step. We had met that goal, so we pulled that out of the CSEP. However, because it's a requirement for MSEP 6, we put it back in because we want to make sure that we meet all of those expectations. So again, I just want to highlight for the community that our Board of Education engages in monthly professional development to increase their leadership capacity through study session and other means. And so, you know, that's not always something that's widely shared, and so I just want to highlight that this evening. And with that, I'll never miss an opportunity to again highlight best of the best, and I appreciate you allowing me the time to share this with you this evening. Are there any questions?
Any comments or questions? Okay, thank you, Ms. Bills.
Thank you.
Job descriptions, first read. Dr. Goforth.
Thank you, Mr. President. The following attached proposed job description is presented for your review as a first reading. The administration will request approval at the regular March Board of Education meeting.
Is there any comments or questions? Purchasing card, handbook, procedures, first read.
Thank you, Mr. President. The proposed purchasing card handbook and employee purchase card application are presented for the board's review as a first reading. This will be brought back for approval at the March board meeting.
MSBA policy and procedure updates. Ms. Bills.
Thank you, Mr. President. Administration presents the following policies and procedures to the board as a first reading. Administrative Procedure KGAP1, Administrative Procedure GBEBB2 AP1, Administrative Procedure GBEBB2 AP2, Administrative Procedure JHCD AP2, Administrative Procedure KKAP1, Policy GBEBA, Policy GBEBB2, Policy JFCH, Policy JFG, Policy JHCD, Policy KK, Regulation JGR1, Student Discipline, Regulation JGR2, Student Discipline, and Regulation JGR3, Student Discipline. Suggestions will be accepted between now and the regular March board meeting, where they will be resubmitted for adoption. Thank you.
I missed one of those. Could you do that again? Okay, we're going to move into closed session. Closed record, closed vote is allowed by RSMO 610.021. Section 1, legal. Section 3, hiring, firing, and discipline or promotion of employees. Section 13, individual personnel records. Performance ratings. Do I have a motion to enter into closed? Mr. Rao makes a motion. Mr. Anderson second. Roll call vote, please. Yes.
Yes.
We're in closed.